Hi, welcome to my revival. My name is Susan, and this channel is about my renewed interest in life since nearly losing mine several years ago. And I want to thank Vickie at Vickie's Country Home for telling us that anyone who wants to contribute to this collab, feel free. Vickie at Vickie's Country Home is hosting the Why Do I collab together with a few other channels: Mrs. Laurie at Whippoorwill Holler, Mrs. Katie at Heritage Ways, Tressa at Tressa's Stay at Home Life, Tina at Teasers Pleasers, and my friend Mary at Mary's Nest are all working with Vickie from Vickie's Country Home on a Why Do I collaboration. Why do they homestead? What is it they inspires them or motivates them to do something they do that matters to them? And I encourage you to go to all of their channels, see all of their Why Do I videos, and then go to Vickie's Why Do I video at Vickie's Country Home, and in the comments tell her which one's your favorite that inspired you the most or encouraged you the most. I think she's going to give one of those ladies a prize for that, so you get to pick your favorite. So I encourage you to go and see all of them. I think maybe Vickie has the playlist up already. I put my videos up from my phone, and I don't know how to link to videos, so I hope that's okay. But I really hope you go check them out. Some of these are my favorite YouTubers. So, what's my topic going to be about? Why do I what? I saw Vickie's, and she talked about the importance of her faith in Jesus and how strong a motivator that was in her life and such a basis for her hope in life. And I thought, it's a good one. It's a good one. I haven't talked much about my faith in terms of specific videos about my faith in videos on my channel yet, just because I haven't put my thoughts together about it. The timing hasn't seemed right, and other things have been going on that I've been making videos about. So I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, okay, this is a good question. Why do I? What motivates me? What's been motivating me lately? Well, I am making a complete turnaround life change regarding my health. I just recently hit goal weight after losing 385 pounds. And now I'm in the major transition of going from a very low-calorie diet that was medically supervised and was a liquid diet, so I wasn't eating regular food, to now that I've hit goal weight, I am reincorporating regular food again. And I have to tell you, as excited as people have been for me to, oh, what's the first thing you want to eat? And what are you going to eat first? Or had you thought about what you want to eat first? And people who know me had known I wasn't eating typical food. And they were wondering, have you thought about what you want to eat? I hadn't, till people started asking me, and then it dawned on me. I should think about what is it I'd like to eat, or what is it I'd like to eat first. And I became more aware in the way they transition you from eating their liquid diet to reincorporating food. They have you do it slowly for your system. You can get kind of sick to your stomach or stomach aches or worse if you just jump right into eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of fattening foods, a lot of complex carbohydrates. Even dairy doesn't start right away. They start you on very lean meats and some vegetables. That's about some fruit, but only a few types of fruit. So for 2 weeks you do that, then you add some dairy, then you add some complex carbs and a little bit of fat. It's all a process. So instead of it being, yay, I'm eating again, let's just jump in and have some yum yum thing, it was, I'm having egg whites and yellow squash for breakfast. And sometimes fish. So that was not the experience of, yay, I'm eating again, I had been looking forward to. I'd kind of known it was a slow reintegration, but, you know, it was harder than I thought. Along the way on my diet, I came to some decisions. I was on my diet for 2 years. And at first I just thought, well, when it's over, I'll go back to eating like I was. Maybe just healthier portions, or, whatever. But somewhere along the way, I started feeling better. My allergies were better. My joint pain was better. I have bone-on-bone arthritis in both knees. Even still over 400 pounds. My top weight was 555 pounds. But even still over 400 pounds, my knees stopped hurting. So my inflammation was less. And it began to occur to me, I had one of those, wait a minute moments. Is there more going on here than a portion control or calorie counting? And I began to learn about how our cells reproduce based on the foods we eat. And it began to just sort of tick in here of, well then, does it matter the food I'm eating that my cells are reproducing off of? I had a couple of cancer scares. I'm getting older. I'm in my 50s. And I'm just going to get older from here, right? So I don't want my joints to have more and more pain that they don't need if it's something I could help manage with food. So should I be eating less inflammatory foods? And I began this sort of process. This part wasn't even in the education in my classes at my weight loss clinic. This was on my own. It just sort of clicked. And I began to hear about things like, well, a book called Nourishing Traditions. Here it is. I have tags in it. And this book talks a lot about things like kefir and sprouted grain. I think I just knocked my camera. Sorry about that. And I've seen people talk about what's in this book. And I began to focus on the sprouted. What's important about sprouting grains? Well, even Mary, at Mary's Nest, one of the people in this collab, she's got terrific traditional foods videos. One of them is about sprouting beans. I just went and bought the same colander she used, the sieve type colander that she used in that video, because I have to learn how to do all that. So I determined on the diet. So if you want to see a good video on sprouting grains, jump on over to Mary's Nest and look at hers on sprouting beans. She explains it so well. I'm not going to be able to explain it very well. I'm not going to try really hard. Because there's a lot of science about the breakdown of how it sort of becomes more like eating a vegetable than how much tougher it is to eat the grain before you sprout it. How it can strip you of vitamins and minerals and not help you absorb magnesiums and things like that. Whereas when you sprout it, it does create an enzyme that does help you absorb those things. It's all science. But it's important to think about, I think, because it might help you have a healthier gut. It might help you have a healthier system. Kefir might help you with your immune system. Over 55% of your immune system's in your gut. I didn't know that. I didn't know a lot of this. So I'm also willing to read books, say, on salt, sugar, fat by Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, research journalist who looked into major food companies. I'm pro-business, and you can have a business and you can create food and you can sell it how you want. But do they actually create laboratories with laboratory employees trying to take salt, sugar, and fat and trying to make sure it's at the sweet spot that triggers the opiate center of our brains, that it gets addicted to things like heroin at the same time? You know, for instance, when you go to the grocery store, do you have one thing you have to buy? That one chocolate bar, or that one ice cream, or that one cracker, or whatever. Think about it. Is it because they designed it to addict us in the first place? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But I can vote with my money and decide not to buy them, is sort of what I'm saying, right? And also, most crackers aren't sprouted. Most bread isn't sprouted. Most tortillas aren't sprouted. Most rice, most beans, canned beans aren't sprouted. And none of that is good for my gut. So that goes back to, I'm sort of looking at everything about food in my life. I'm willing to look at books on fermentation. I'm looking into ways of putting food by because I'm interested in maybe, does the way chickens are raised commercially affect their omega-3s turning into omega-6s? Omega-3s are healthy, omega-6s are not. So I'm willing to start looking at, do I want to buy a home in the country and maybe have a few chickens? I don't know. Getting older, we're going to see. I'm also revamping my life in terms of filling out sheets like this regarding half a cup of tomatoes here, a tablespoon of oil here, how many cups of complex carbs a day I eat, how many cups of vegetables, how many ounces of fruit, how many grams of protein. I average my weekly weight. I weigh myself every day. I count the hours I sleep. Why am I doing all of this? Why I was originally going to show you this as even more of a props video of, I've been buying sprouted goods, sprouted bagels. I found sprouted crackers online from Azure Standard. Haven't tried them yet, just got them in the mail. I found sprouted pasta, also Azure Standard, because I couldn't find it in any stores nearby, including all the health stores. I went to 3 different stores and found a sprouted cereal. So you're kind of going through life. Okay, I found a way to get some already sprouted brown rice, navy beans, quinoa. Mary's Nest would know how to do this from scratch. I knew I was transitioning from my goal weight to maintenance and that this was going to be hard to do menu planning. I'm going to be menu planning. I'll menu plan a week or 2 weeks in advance. It can take me 2 days because, I forgot the fruit that day. I forgot the second half of the fruit that day. Wait a minute, if I'm going to have the quinoa at dinner, I can't have the cereal and a piece of toast later or a sandwich because that's 3 different things of complex carbs. So, I've got to switch that. I'm doing that too. I am mixing all of this up. I'm trying to figure out where to add protein powder. Should I put in some protein bars? How about some jerkies? Because I want to put in protein in every meal and snack. Why do I want to do that? Why am I doing all of this? Why am I mapping out what I eat? Why am I meal prepping? Measuring every single portion, weighing my meat raw, measuring my vegetables raw. Why am I working so hard? Extra hard, maybe, over maybe some people who maybe finished the diets and hadn't decided to look at where their food comes from. And even these are all processed foods I still have here. I found some sprouted breads. Some of the bagels I found were stale. Some of the breads I found were stale. The hamburger buns I found at one store, they were stale. So either not many people are buying sprouted goods, or the store had them on the shelf for a long time. I don't know. But again, these are processed too. I'm not completely anti-processed food, but right now I didn't think I could take on baking and sprouting and kefir and canning when I was going through this incredible life change of trying to find my balanced weight, which has decided to keep fluctuating. I lost 15 pounds in maintenance in 6 weeks. So that was unusual. So I've been just sort of trying to figure out where my balance is at. I've taken a DNA test. To find out the diet I need for my body, not one that's trendy, not one that's particular one way or another. And it turns out I need a low-fat diet. I'm going to be sharing on my channel all about the breakdown of that test, things I learned that helped me with understanding eating behaviors that I didn't understand I had because of science. I used to blame myself and beat myself up for overeating things that were sugary, that no one else seemed to eat sugar like I did. Turns out I have a sweet tooth, but I can't really taste sweet. So for me to taste sweet, I probably have to eat 2 donuts or something to year 1. When I eat a protein type bar, I won't even taste any sweet till the very end of the bar. And I tell myself, no, that's okay. It's just because you didn't taste sweet the whole time, because you don't taste sweet easily. But when I was a kid and I put 8 scoops of like brown sugar on oatmeal, and my mom would say, do you have to use that much sugar? I used to say, I can't taste it. But I just felt sort of like a pig, like, why don't you just ease up on the sugar? I really couldn't taste it. So this test revealed a lot of things about me: the diet I need, eating behaviors I have. I'm prone to regain weight I've lost, and I've just lost a lot of weight. So I'm going to be using that test to help me. I'm going to be trying to use more sprouted grains to help me. My menu planning, the books I'm reading. Why am I maybe taking it further than simply cutting back to calories, doing it more simply? Why am I revamping my whole food world? Because I made a decision after nearly dying to fight for my happy, and I wasn't going to be happy unable to move at 555 pounds, and that I knew I was nearly dying. And I fought I knew, first of all, my first motto was, the fat's gotta go. But I knew when I started, the fat had to stay gone. Once gone, the fat had to stay gone. So I fought through struggles to get that fat off. I couldn't chew for a year. I, for 9 months, had pain after eating. I didn't know I had to have a gallbladder removed because I didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was in the doctor's offices. So for 9 months, it hurt to eat. I struggled. But I did it. I crossed that finish line. If I had to crawl, I was going to get to goal weight. And I just did that at the end of August. But the roller coaster ride since has been all over the place. I had a reaction to an herbal supplement I was taking, but I took that at the same time I started taking dairy, so I was scared that I had a reaction to dairy. And the reintroduction to food has been interesting. For instance, many people think it might be exciting, or hey, you're eating again. But I'm going to give you an example of what it's like. I'll give you a really simple example. I was asked, like I said, about what would be the one thing I really wanted to eat. And after thinking about it, I figured it out. I wanted to eat peanut butter on toast. That's it. I wanted peanut butter on toast. However, it was not the experience that I thought it would be. Neither was low-fat cottage cheese. Neither was cream cheese on a bagel. So far, none of it's the same, which throws me too. So it hasn't been enjoyable because, I put peanut butter on toast, but I didn't use the peanut butter I used to use with the hydrogenated oils and the sugar. I used the new one that was just peanuts and sea salt, so it was different. And I didn't use my old bread. I used a sprouted one. But I didn't remember I didn't like multigrain bread until I bit into the piece of toast with the peanut butter on it. And I thought, ew, I don't like this bread. And it was a new peanut butter. So then I tested half a tablespoon of the old peanut butter I used to use on a better wheat sprouted piece of toast, and on the other half of that piece of toast, the new peanut butter. Well, the old peanut butter tasted like chemicals and sugar. That was new, because I thought I loved that peanut butter. I liked the new toast, but it turns out that the peanut butter that was just peanuts and sea salt, I preferred over the old peanut butter. I was beginning to get a taste for it. So this is happening all over the place. I bought a Honeycrisp apple and thought it was fantastic. So I thought, there we go. That's the apple tree I'll grow one day, is a Honeycrisp apple. But there was a problem. It made me crave more Honeycrisp apples. And then it made me crave bagels and crackers and bread. So they tell you to be cautious. Notice when you eat something, pay attention. Do you feel sore? Do you feel tired? Do you feel achy? Do you feel kind of sick? Does it make you crave something? So guess what I'm not going to be eating? I'm not going to be eating delicious Honeycrisp apples because they make me crave. Why won't I be eating Honeycrisp apples? Because they make me crave. Because the fat had to go, but the fat's got to stay gone, and I am willing to use every tool in the toolbox. Books, videos, sprouted grains, kefir, canning with controlling the ingredients, fermenting. I'm willing to use every tool in the toolbox, every weapon in my arsenal to keep the fat off. Because this is my revival.